The Cage Transform tool is a fun tool to play with. It allows you to warp an image in very unique ways. It's also pretty simple to use. Simply select it from the tool options. You'll start by having the Create or Adjust the Cage option selected. You'll go down and you will make a selection. In this case, we're going to select one of these support columns for this highway overpass, and we're just going to make a rough selection around it. We're going to add a number of extra anchor points along the way, just so we have plenty of handles to grab on and manipulate once we move on to the next stage, as you'll see. Once we've finished bounding the box, the tool will automatically move us to the next step, which is the Deform the Cage to deform the image box. At this point, this last option comes into effect with the Fill the original position of the cage with a solid color option, which we can either leave on or off. But let's take a look at what the tool does first. So now that we've got our cage set up, we can simply click and drag the anchor points, and it will manipulate the image. It will warp the image to fit the new shape. So it will take the old shape that you originally drew, and it will lay it out over the new shape that you are dragging the cage out to be. So in this case, we're kind of making it look like the support has gone a little wonky here. And you'll see that the parts of the image that are no longer visible because we've moved the original cage out of it, that is what's being filled in with this solid color. If we turn this option off, it will simply leave the original image in its place, and it will also warp over it. But in this case, we will leave it as a solid color because it will be easier for us to go back when we need to finish touching up the photo. So once we've got our image warped the way we like it, we can just press enter and it will apply those effects. And now we've got to this sort of wonky column on the highway pass, and if we were going to continue working on this image, we would go in and we would now address this area that now needs to be filled in. But that's the basics of the Cage Transform tool. Very fun to play with, so I recommend you giving it a try.